I'm the worst at this.
Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today I am Capital Theatre with Ryan Gonzalez. How you going, Ryan?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. Welcome back to Rave It Up. This is technically your second time on the show. The first time was at the lovely media call where we met for the very first time.
Yes.
Which was surprising because I already knew all the other guys. I was just like, who is this guy? But as soon as I saw him perform, I'm like, I can see why you got the job. So talented. Not just saying that because you're here. Everyone needs to see the show if you haven't already. I'm not just saying that, guys. But it's great to have you on the show now for a one-on-one chat.
Yes, it's awesome.
Once I was doing research on you, I was like, this guy. Like, seriously, what haven't you done?
Lots, I promise.
Yeah. Before we talk about Jersey Boys, I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. So obviously we know a lot about the show now, and we're going to get to your opinion on it very soon. But you graduated from Brent Street's Talent Development High School and attended a full-time Certificate 4 course in 2011. But take us back to the beginning. Was this the sort of career that you always wanted to pursue, or was it more just like a hobby and you had other careers in mind?
I started as a dancer. It's funny, my mum put me in lots of after-school activities and I would cry.
Because you didn't want to do it?
Because I didn't want to do it. And then she chucked me in a dance class one day. I think I was 3.5 and I didn't come out crying, and she was like, great. We'll leave you in there for an hour, because I was a pretty annoying kid. So it started from there. I trained as a dancer, and then when I went to Brent Street and did the full-time course, that was mainly in dance as well.
That's great. It's a good place to start with musical
theatre.
theatre.
Hell yeah. I did a little bit of singing on the side. I didn't really do too much acting stuff, like actual lessons and stuff, but I did do acting, like Year 12 drama, music, stuff like that through high school. But I was very dance-based, and then I was very lucky. And from there, I got into Legally Blonde, like when I was in full-time still.
Wow, that's great. It's kind of like Thomas's story where he got Jersey Boys before he even graduated.
Exactly.
I think that really takes the pressure off, doesn't it?
It definitely
does. Rather people are just stressing, going, oh my God, what am I going to do next year when I graduate? And you did it.
I'm very lucky. Like, very lucky to be an 18-year-old and to get a gig.
Yeah.
And I swang as well, so it was good like starting point.
Yeah.
I really learnt a lot about music theatre by being a swing and being around everybody and being in that cast, which was awesome.
So since then you've done acting classes.
Yeah. and
I'm
singing
like,
lessons.
What? Jersey Boys without doing an acting class? Wow. It's just natural talent. But it's interesting because, having so many interviews with musical theatre stars that dancing is something that they're not very good at, or they've had to really learn. But you started with that, which is
I started with that, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's so surprising, especially when I'm like, your singing always like sits forefront on my mind.
Oh, thank you.
It's just incredible. Now, you are playing Frankie Valli.
Yes.
In Jersey Boys musical.
Yes.
Obviously. Which we all love you in. But not many people know all the other projects that you've worked on or productions that you've been in. The list just goes on, and I feel like every single one is better than the last.
Thank you.
So at musical theatre, you have been in Kinky Boots, King Kong, Legally Blonde, as you said before, Violet, and Strictly Ballroom, where you played Wayne Burns and understudy Scott Hastings. So apart from Jersey Boys, because we know it's incredible, what has been your all-time favourite musical you've been in?
I also this year I did Assassins at the Opera House. I did In the Heights at the Hayes Theatre.
Yeah.
And The View Upstairs. So they've been 3 of my favourite things that I've done ever. But I did Usnavi and In the Heights, which was amazing. It was out of control.
Isn't
it was
that
so
interesting
good.
that it's smaller productions that are usually people's favourite?
Just because we were very creatively involved in the process of getting the show up, and it was such a tiny rehearsal period, and it is such a small space, so you're kind of forced to be really into the show, really into the acting and the storytelling of the show, which I really love. And it doesn't go for very long, so you kind of throw everything at it and then you're out. And they're not really shows that get brought to Australia commercially, so they're not more exciting, because I think Jersey Boys is the best show I've ever done, but they're definitely
ones that should have a little bit more press and a little bit more time.
Yeah, they're very
to
cool.
be in the big theatres.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hayes Theatre's still doing a great job.
It's
aren't
awesome.
They do have some really good productions.
Yeah.
And I'd really love to know as well, in Strictly Ballroom, what happens when you need to go on as Scott Hastings? Is then an understudy for Wayne?
Yeah.
It's like a never-ending cycle.
Well, I didn't start out as Wayne. I started as ensemble, and I covered Scott and Wayne. So I was that person.
You got to memorize all of that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I'd be that person to step up into Scott or Wayne if they were either off or sick or injured or whatever. And then I had stepped up into Wayne like full time. And then I would step into Scott if I needed to.
Wow. Did you ever get to go on as Scott as well?
Yeah, I went on for like maybe a week at the end of Sydney for Scott. Yeah.
That's exciting.
It was huge.
What a great character.
Yeah, he's cool.
And in terms of feature films as well, you've been in The Great Gatsby and Happy Feet 2. Two huge films. I can't get over that. What is it like working on big movies like that? Is
A Great Gatsby
very different from musical theatre.
It's very different. Like, we had Corrie in Great Gatsby that went for 20 minutes. And we would just repeat it over and over and over.
Luckily, you're good at dancing and you like it.
I love it. Yeah. But it was so weird. Like, we had so many people telling us what to do and just so many days of just constant dancing, constant standing, constant partying.
Wow.
Because we were involved in those massive party scenes. And then you watch the movie and you're not in much.
You're like, all that work for nothing?
Literally. But no, that was awesome. And Happy Feet 2 is one of my favourite things I've ever done.
What did you do in Happy Feet 2?
I was a motion capture artist. So we did all the dancing for the penguins. But we also, none of it's animated. It's all humans being penguins or being elephant seals or being whatever else is on there. It's very, very cool. Wow. It's like you get into those black suits with all the dots. And they have like 70 cameras like rigged above you. And you all have to like snap in. It's like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. Full on. And you like snap into your grid and you get to be a penguin and you walk like a penguin. It's very, very cool.
Wow, the behind the scenes of it all.
I know.
Stuff that we don't think about. We just think it's so, the actors just doing the voices.
No, yeah.
And then an editor just does all the animations.
Well, that's one of the first things.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, because Avatar does the same thing. They do motion capture for all the blue guys. So they do that in Australia too.
It is so human-like.
Yeah.
But penguins. Cool. All right.
It's very
Never
cool.
would have guessed that for Happy Feet. Another thing that is very different from musical theatre is also being on TV in front of cameras. Obviously, you've been doing a lot for the promotion of Jersey Boys, but you've also been in front of the camera for your fantastic dance skills on The X Factor and So You Think You Can Dance. Is that something you had to get used to, like being comfortable in front of a camera, or you still get nervous?
I get nervy. Like, doing a morning show for Jersey is pretty intense, especially because they just kind of throw you on and they're like, good luck.
You should know it by now.
That's kind of it, yeah. At least like X Factor and stuff like that, even though I was just more like a resident dancer for like backing up artists, like singers and stuff like that, whatever. It was more rehearsal based, so we got more time in front of the cameras and to know where the camera was going, and half the time the cameraman would be like in between you while you're dancing to try and get a shot.
It's like, I'm really doing awesome. My moves here, get out of the way.
Literally. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And those like morning shows, for example, that you're having to do the Jersey Boys medleys and everything. That's early in the morning.
That is early. We did one at 8
even though you're there at 8, you've got to get up earlier than that.
I gotta get up 5 to warm up my voice.
Exactly, because it is so high.
It's so high.
Incredible. But you did a good job. I watched the last one. Do you ever get nervous on stage as well?
Yeah.
Or have you got that kind of down pat now?
No. I seriously, honestly, get nervous every single time, like about 3 or 4 seconds before I go on, in every show that I've done. It's just like that little like... that like stomach clenches
it's a sold-out show.
Throat clenches and you're like and then you go
like,
that's
well,
literally the sound that my
buddy.
voice makes. Yeah, no, I get nervous every time. Well, especially with this one, it's a marathon.
That means that you care about what you're doing.
I definitely care. I love it too much.
Good. Just think about that next time you go out and you're nervous. It means I care about it. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
It's when the nerves disappear.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. Maybe think about why.
Yeah.
Now, in March this year, you did mention that you were in the Heights at Hayes Theatre.
Yep.
You shared the stage with Tim-O-Matic.
I did.
How is he to work with?
He's awesome. We have the same birthday.
I just met him last week. That is... I love sharing
We're both the
birthdays
9th
with
of
people.
September. If anyone wants to send us presents. No, I'm kidding.
What do you want?
He's awesome. We got along really well. And both of our characters are pretty, into each other, which was lovely.
Very lovely.
A bromance, not a romance. I promise.
I mean, would you complain?
I wouldn't complain. No,
Tim-O-Matic.
we love Tim-O-Matic. Tim-O-Matic. Nah, he's awesome. And what a beautiful guy.
Such a beautiful soul.
And so talented as well. He'd be doing all of his music stuff during the day and then coming in and doing the night show and never complaining about anything. He was very driven. I really, took a couple of leaves out of his book.
Yeah.
He's very cool.
There's a lot to learn there.
Yeah.
He is just so talented.
Yeah.
At the same time, you were in the view upstairs at the Hayes Theatre until March. So you were performing at night and rehearsing by day.
I was.
Your time management must be impeccable. How do you do that?
I got really
to scratch
good.
yourself during that time?
No, I didn't. I got really good at putting myself to sleep. I'd just be go to bed.
Go to
now.
bed. You need sleep right now.
Yeah.
You're probably so tired and you're out like that anyway.
Seriously. There's something really interesting about that period of time because I didn't really have time to think. So all the work that I was doing was just happening.
Yeah.
Which actually made it really, I thought it was really good work that I did in that time. It was amazing.
Especially since you said it's up there with your favourite.
Yeah. And two of them were my favourite productions. I don't know if you saw The View Upstairs, but it was...
No, I didn't.
It was amazing. It's such a beautiful story. Yeah. It's really, really emotional. But yeah.
Okay, don't get emotional now. It's all good. As we mentioned before, and the moment that everyone's been waiting for us to talk about is the fact that you're playing Frankie Valli in the Jersey Boys musical, which is here until December at Capitol Theatre. Let's not go back in time.
It's because I said my birthday is September.
In September, yeah. Now, something I love about the show and something I've just picked up from knowing you guys and seeing you off stage is, I've mentioned this off air too as well, the family vibe that you guys have.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. You did mention Christina D'Agostino, who was just recently on the show, who plays your wife, Mary Delgado, in the show. You've worked with her before, but out of all the guys, the other 4 seasons, the 3 of them, had you worked with them before or met them?
I'd met them. I'd met Cam before.
Who hasn't met Cam?
Who hasn't met Cam?
Everyone knows Cam.
Literally. I hadn't met Glasson before. I'd seen him in a lot of shows, and I hadn't met Tom before, obviously.
Glasson's definitely the alumni of Jersey Boys, being in it 4 times.
They're beautiful.
They are.
They're so awesome.
I'm so surprised you hadn't met them before.
I know.
It's such you're just brothers.
I know.
It's not just on stage, guys. They really are.
We do days of publicity together. We went to Brisbane, spent a whole day there, and we just don't get sick of each other. Or maybe they do. Maybe they get sick of me, and I just don't know.
They leave the room. Oh, thank goodness.
Maybe I'm the problem child. I don't know.
No, definitely not. How can you say that? It's horrible. You did that photo shoot at Soda Factory as well.
That was awesome. I ate so many potato gems, it was ridiculous.
Of course, why wouldn't you? It's a free food sitting around in front of you, and they're telling you to eat it.
Literally.
Was that just an easy shoot? Because you guys just look like you're having so much fun.
It was such a cool shoot. It was the first time where they were like, what do you want to do? We were like...
Eat burgers.
Okay, let's do it. Nah, they're beautiful guys. I really, really love them. Yeah.
And for the people watching, not every single musical cast is a family.
No.
You know, they do have their moments where cool, I don't have to see you right now.
It's interesting.
It is.
Because it is such a small cast too. Lots of other casts are much bigger than this, and you kind of have a bit of segregation, or I don't know, the girls hang out and the boys hang out, or on Kinky Boots the angels hang out and the factory workers hang out. But on this one, it's because it's so tiny and everyone's so important in the show. Everyone is just gone like that and sucked in together. Nice. It's really beautiful.
Well, especially for the women playing up to 10 characters between them.
Literally.
I spoke a lot of our interview about that with Christina because it blows my mind.
Yeah.
But it is true. Not every cast is like a family, and don't lose that. It's so beautiful to see. It is beautiful. Now, I know this is a very big question.
Yes.
But what do you think is the biggest lesson you've learnt while working on Jersey Boys? And I know it's not finished yet. It's still here till December.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. I have two big things.
Okay.
One of them is like...
Better than one.
One of them is vocally, and it's like... when you feel like you're doing too much, pull back. Because then you get a better quality of sound. And I'm able to like pace myself more. Because it is a marathon, especially Act 2. Oof. He doesn't leave the stage, and he sings most of his massive hits in Act 2. And they're just like banger after banger. And they're all high. They're all just as high as the other. So that one has been... that's the most that I've learned on the show. It's been about the maintenance of my voice. And...
do you give yourself rest days as well? In between?
There's time where I can't talk to anybody. Sorry, Mum.
Just have this sign. Rest day.
Literally. That's the first one. And the second one is not to judge myself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You've been judging yourself before, haven't
you?
you?
Yeah. It's so judgy. I mean, I think most performers do. Because we're trying to be the best.
Yeah.
Trying to be as good as we can be all the time. But sometimes I go too far and I'm judging every little second that I do on stage. But then someone in the cast would be like, just remember, you're doing it every single day. So you can't judge yourself that hard. You need to give yourself time to get into the role and live his life and go on his journey.
Yeah, you can't just come out of rehearsal and go, that was amazing, I got to do every single performance like that.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, same one performance, you're like, that was amazing, I got to do every single one like that.
Yeah.
You can't, you know?
No.
It is different every single day.
It literally is. And actually, this show, more than most, is so affected by the audience. It's ridiculous. So I'm learning not to judge myself by the audience reaction, if that makes sense.
Well, you even had a matinee performance today, and you said the crowd was amazing.
That was sick. That
different
was so
from
good.
Usual, or what did you pick up?
The first Thursday matinee audience we've ever had, and it was nearly sold out. It was amazing, and they just
it's not even Christmas holidays
I
yet.
know. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Something I love too is that you don't really hear like the big three for so long. You're like, I love it though, because you really do get into the story. But you don't hear those big three till
it's nearly an hour in.
Yeah, a long time. But as soon as, you know, they hear that, or even Can't Take My Eyes Off You, the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for.
Do you know Cry For Me, Tom's song?
Yes.
You know that it's a B-side? I mean, he may have spoken to this about you.
No.
It's a B-side. Yeah, it's one. Bob Gaudio wrote it, and it was on a B-side of one of their main albums, but it was never a hit. And I think it's one of my favourite songs in the show. And it's the first time you hear the four of them blending together and making that sound. You know how Frankie always talks about that sound. The iconic sound. It's the first time they make it. Yeah. And that's 40 minutes into the show. And before that, you don't actually hear any Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons sounds, which is crazy.
Don't get worried, audience. Like that.
It's killer.
You do get really hooked in. You don't even really notice that it has been an hour because that time goes so quickly.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm invested in this now.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible. Now, I did have a chat to Thomas as well about this a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Something that blew me away about the show is just how much dialogue there is to remember.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember, guys, and I said this in Thomas's interview, they don't just have to remember the dialogue. They've got to remember the choreography of the songs, the lyrics to the songs. So what was your way of memorizing? Did you have like top tips or? My top tip is handwriting it all. Handwriting it all? Yeah. That must have taken you forever. It took me ages. Yeah, wow. I started and saying it as you're handwriting it, or not even. I think just the actual like action of writing the words out, it kind of makes you think about what you're writing first of all, and it kind of subliminally sits in there. So I used to do that before I went to bed, and then I'd sleep on it, and then I'd wake up and I'd test myself on it and see what I'd. So when you forget your line, you think of yourself writing it? Yes, I do actually. Wow. Yeah, that's my top tip. I think that I use a lot. Everybody's different. Yeah. I mean, I did Assassins this year. I learned the show in 6 hours. I don't know if you know this. But when Bobby broke his foot on opening night, I was there watching the show. Oh my goodness. And they asked me in the audience, they were like, would you mind coming into rehearsals tomorrow? And I was like, okay. And I rehearsed for 6 hours and I did the show that night, the next night. Oh my goodness. As Charles Couteau, which is full on. But that was the best. Like at 1 a.m. that night, I hand wrote all of his lines.
And it really helped.
Wow.
I promise.
Have you kept all of these? Because I'm sure if you sold them after the show's finished, you probably got a lot of money.
No, it's probably in the bin somewhere, actually.
Or going, oh my God, that handwriting is horrible because I wrote that so quickly. Or isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thomas's answer was very different. He did not write them out.
What does he do?
He just think, for example, like the scene of Glaston showing the cars and, you know, which one do you want? That scene, he just thinks about what he's seeing in front of him and kind of, if he's forgotten his lines, he just does that. You know, he says what he sees in a weird way. It works though, because that is true.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but writing it out.
It's probably a better way than writing it out. I'm kidding.
No. You've got some very important lines to say.
I do, yes.
The Jersey Boys musical is also the 12th longest running musical in Broadway history.
It is.
It's played to over 25 million people worldwide, and even the 2010 Sydney version was one of the longest running musicals in Sydney history. So how does it feel to be in such a well-known musical and also a story that everybody knows?
I know, it's
nerve-wracking, isn't it?
It's nerve-wracking. Serving in, especially when he's still alive, that's huge. Most of them, except for Nick Massey, but most of these characters on stage are still alive. So that's huge, because he could pop in any time and watch and be like,
it's like, oh yeah, guess what? The real Frankie Valli was in the audience today.
I would die.
Oh, well, hopefully they never tell you before you go on stage, because that would be horrible.
That would be horrible.
That would make it so much more nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I think it's iconic, really.
It is.
So
as I said before we went on air, not many people can say that they're Frankie Valli and Jersey Boys. This is going to be the best thing on your resume for future jobs.
Yeah.
I really hope that it's just going to be up and up.
I hope so too. Thank you.
This is already really high.
This is one of the roles that like you can't come back from here.
Where do I go now?
Yeah.
Broadway.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Broadway.
Go make us proud, all right? Us Aussies proud. We can go. He's us. He's one of us. And did you watch the Jersey Boys movie before you...
I've seen the Jersey Boys movie. I also saw the last production of Jersey Boys maybe 12 times with my family.
12 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
My brothers are both like kind of musos. One of them sings and plays the guitar and the other one is a drummer. They don't kind of do it professionally. They're very good though. But it's like one of the only musicals that they actually appreciate.
So they come to this one heaps as well?
They've come to this one. They've seen this. Obviously, they're like, bro... You're in our favourite musical.
Of course we're seeing it every night.
Of course we're coming every night. They're awesome. Yeah.
Oh, what a great supportive family.
They're so good.
So nice to see.
Yeah.
And I know I asked you this in the media call as well, but I'd love to learn more about it. You did mention it a bit earlier on in the interview as well, of how high Frankie Valli's voice is.
Yeah.
So you do give yourself rest days.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you do that...
We're very lucky. We have a vocal coach on the show.
Oh, good.
So she's a New York chick and she helped the original Frankie Valli work through the show.
Wow.
Which was insane. So she has her own specific technique. So she trains every Frankie Valli that ever does Jersey Boys professionally. And I do a Skype session with her. It used to be like weekly, but now it's fortnightly. And it's a lot of like just getting the tongue out of the way, getting the throat ready, and reducing inflammation because you're singing so much, and
especially
getting those
even
techniques.
Today, you have 2 shows in a day.
Yeah, well, that's the best thing. They don't let the Frankies do 2 shows.
Oh,
so then tonight, Daniel Razzo will do the show. He's the
so you
ultimate.
Can go home and rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm surprised you don't do the nightly one. And then he does the daytime one.
It just depends. Sometimes he does. So like Saturday, he'll do the matinee and I'll do the night. But today, it was just the opposite way, which is cool.
I'm still glad that you could fit us in as well. Now, unfortunately, we love bringing this up in interviews as well. Just to... It can't be happy-chappy all the time because we really want to get down to the... deep stuff as well. Yeah. That unfortunately depression, suicide rates, anxiety, they're just unfortunately becoming a bigger issue these days. And it's really sad to see that people feel like they have to put other people down to make themselves feel better. Yeah. So during your time in the industry, have you unfortunately had any haters or hurtful comments? Oh.
Absolutely. This is a big deal. am not ashamed to say this, but I get therapy at least once a week or every fortnight.
That's good. That's healthy.
Oh, yeah. I see a kinesiologist counsellor, which is perfect for me because my body does a lot of the talking because I am such a dancer and so dance-based. I find that my body holds a lot of emotion in certain places. So if I get injured, it's normally related to anxiety or stress or emotional things.
The body is an incredible thing.
It is so awesome.
Whenever you feel pain, it's usually your body trying to tell you something.
Exactly. So I do that a lot, as well as getting my body released because I just hold it so much in there. So I've been lucky that I have had jobs that makes me financial enough to find therapy that helps me get through an 8-show week.
Yes.
Or a 6-show week at the moment, which is just so intense because you give so much to an audience that you sometimes forget to give back to yourself and to replenish that kind of energy so you can keep giving and giving. And I guess what happens is when you don't replenish that is when the anxiety can kick in, or you can become hurtful to others, or you can just not see how you're affecting other people. Yeah, that's
especially
a really good question.
Especially Jersey Boys at the moment, it's really on social media. You know, it's everywhere now. Yeah. You've been getting a lot of hurtful comments or, you know.
No, this one's been really good.
Oh, that's good.
Kinky Boots, Kinky Boots got a bit full on because I was playing a drag queen in that one, and there were a lot of people that were like, and I was like, well...
It's like, just don't watch it.
You don't need to like it.
Yeah.
It's still an art form. If you go to a art gallery and you don't like a piece, you just walk away from it.
That's very true.
Yeah.
For this, they always feel like they need to say something.
Yeah, they feel the need to come to stage door and be like, what you did is not okay.
Like, really? They do that? It's like, get a life.
a couple of times in Melbourne with Kinky Boots, and in Sydney, actually. Yeah. But it's also kind of funny because I think that because they were so confronted by the themes in that musical, they felt the need to shield themselves or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, we can have a laugh about it now.
Yeah. But it's good. It was good to be in that environment and to kind of just go, no, this is actually really good that you came and saw this because you've been confronted by it, and hopefully you have a conversation about it and someone around you will go, that's actually not okay. Push you down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, not push them down, but let you know what you've done is wrong.
Well, it lets them know too. It's a whole different world. Like, it is becoming the norm now, you know?
Yeah.
There are probably people that don't really like change. You're just going to have to get used to it.
Yeah.
This is the world now.
Hate to say it was like a lot of older generations too, which is sad.
It is.
Because their children are probably queer or queer associated or anything like that. Yeah.
I'm glad we brought it up.
Me too.
We'll keep doing
it's such a good convo. Yeah, it's so good.
Well.
It seriously is.
It's obviously really getting whatever you're... sometimes we kind of push things down, don't want to talk about it, or don't really want to face those emotions ourselves. But it's good that with therapy, you have to get it out. And
I mean, as well,
so light afterwards. Yeah.
Because Frankie's got a hard journey. He has a hard slog. Like, his life, his relationship with music is beautiful. It's like perfect, and he loves it, and he works so hard at it. But his relationship with everyone else is not
it's not
black and white. It's like so colourful, and it's so intense. And you take that on, and like your daughter dies every night, and you have breakups with your relationships and your family
really do have to live through that every
night. It's huge. So I do a bit of therapy to get that kind of sorted out in my head, or to get that little part of me taken out and
then you can focus
rinsed
on
out.
Rinsed out, and then got to put it again there tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though you've already achieved so much in your career, Ryan, what else can we expect from you in the future? Do you have plans after Jersey Boys, or are you going to take a bit of a break since you've been doing this for...
I don't want to break. No way.
Okay, good. Keep going. We want to see more of you.
Nah, it's funny. People that have come and seen Jersey Boys, they're like, oh, we want an album from you. And I was like, I've never thought about that.
I would love
but
that.
I would love to do that.
Yes.
So maybe that'll happen. I don't know.
Good. Come back on the show when you have an album.
I also have a cabaret show, which I'm planning on taking out of the
just suddenly drops. Oh, by the way.
Yeah,
What's it called?
It's called Hispanic Attack.
Oh, that's such a good name.
It's kind of like I play a character called the Ryan Gonzalez. He's a Spanish singer, songwriter.
It's different than the Ryan sitting right here.
Oh, it's a play on me as a
Ryan
human.
Gonzalez by day, the Ryan
Gonzalez
Gonzalez
by
by night.
He's like Ricky Martin's arch enemy.
Okay.
Arch nemesis.
Interesting.
It's a comedy.
All
if you can't tell.
So, when's that going to be out? You've just been working on it right now?
Well, no, I did it at Adelaide Cabaret Festival in
awesome. Cool.
2017.
Last year?
Yeah, 2017.
Time goes quickly.
Yes, I did it then. It does move quickly. Yeah, so I did it then, and I was planning on bringing it back soon.
Good.
Maybe after Jersey Boys. Who knows?
Maybe to Sydney?
Maybe to Sydney.
Let me know.
Yeah,
Keep
I will.
me updated. I want to come. That sounds like it's my sort of
All
show.
your favourite Latino songs in an hour.
Exactly. And a bit of comedy. Who doesn't love to laugh? Obviously, we've been doing a lot today. Now, I'd also love to know what is going on in the hallways of this capital theatre. Everyone's musical here.
Everyone.
It's great. They never take a break. We'd love to know, Ryan, do you have any advice for the listeners and the people watching that want to get into musical theatre or, I guess, anything in the entertainment industry?
Yeah.
Since you do so much.
My advice is to be as well-versed as possible.
Kind of got to be, especially in this industry now.
Also in the Australian industry, it's starting to become... The jobs that come are so varied. Like it can involve playing an instrument or rapping or being a Jersey boy or being a drag queen. Like it's so diverse at the moment. The only way that you can keep on top of it is by absorbing everything and having as many... What's a good metaphor? Having as many I don't know if you're
on your tool belt. I think that's what Thomas said, and I was like, I like that.
Or pins on your Girl Scout uniform.
I can do all of these.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think.
Wow. Okay.
But that must be I think that's the most obvious one. To be as good a dancer as you are, a singer as you are, an actor as you are, a pianist as you are, a circus juggler. I don't know.
Interesting. I like the combination.
Yeah.
Well, people that aren't in the industry, they might not know that. So
totally.
That's still really good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, we are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview. I have learned so much today and had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
But as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Oof, my 14-year-old self.
Yes.
Do you know that Frankie Valli starts the show as a 14-year-old?
No.
When he skips on the bridge at the top of the show, he's 14.
You don't look 14 at that time.
What would I tell my
did not know
14-year-old
that.
self?
As I said, I'm going to watch it again, so I'm going to look
You
out for that now.
I don't know if you can really tell, but that is the idea of it.
That is the idea of it. It's a 14-year-old.
14-year-old boy. I would tell myself to be proud of the things that I hate. Because the things that I hated about myself became my best assets.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so deep.
Yeah.
I love that.
I went to a Catholic school too. So that was hard times for me. So as a 14-year-old, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do any of this. And now I'm doing everything. Now I'm doing exactly everything I didn't want to do.
What a 14-year-olds know, right? They need to grow up.
Yeah.
Well, that's good advice for all the 14-year-olds listening too.
Yeah.
Be proud of the things that you hate.
Yeah.
It's the things that are so unique about you.
Yeah.
No one else has.
Literally.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. And before we go, if the people watching, the listeners, want to contact you or find out what you're up to, where should they go?
My Instagram is good.
Good? I've seen you up.
At RGONZY. That's my Instagram.
Oh, good. Is that your little nickname?
Yeah, Gonzi. Yeah,
Gonzi.
people call me Gonzi. Or Speedy Gonzalez.
That's actually a good nickname. That's very smart. Well, go follow him. He does update a lot, which is great.
I do.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on the show today, Ryan. I appreciate your time. I know you're already very busy, but also that you need to vocal rest. And I'm just making you talk for 40 minutes.
That's good.
But I'd love to have you on again in the future.
Yep.
So let's keep in contact.
Yep.
And we'll make it happen in the future. Hopefully when an album comes out.
Hopefully when an album comes out.
And for everyone watching, make sure to buy your tickets to Jersey Boys because it leaves here in December at Capitol Theatre. If you've already seen it, then come see it again. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But for now, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.